Hello, writers. Welcome back. We have been working on our persuasive essay, and so far we have done our planning using boxes and bullets, and then we tried out some powerful hooks in order to craft or draft our introduction. Now, we are ready for today's lesson. So, today's lesson is all about drafting, and we're going to use our boxes and bullets to help us out. So that brings me to the learning target. I'm going to read it aloud and I'm going to show it on the screen. And there is a photograph in Schoology, so you can follow along with me. The learning target for today says, I can write a draft of my body paragraphs using boxes and bullets and transition words and phrases. Okay, here's what it looks like. You can repeat it with me from your home. Okay, and you might say, why are we doing this work? Well, when we plan with boxes and bullets, our ideas will flow in a logical manner. And then when we add transition words and phrases, it helps to link those ideas together. Now, let's think about some transition words and phrases. We've done this many times in class, so I want you to think in your private mind, some transition words and phrases are, those are the words that link our ideas together. Now, I want you to turn and talk to a stuffed animal or the wall or a brother or sister and say some transition words and phrases are, I'm going to turn and talk to Hops. He's in his bed right next to me. So is Barley. I'll talk to them both. Ready? Hops, Barley. What are some transition words and phrases? What's that, Barley? First, next, then. What do you think, Hops? Hops, you like the one finally? As you can see? Oh yeah, we know so many. I hope that you and your partner discussed some, maybe the same ones that Hops, Barley, and I discussed. Okay, so I have a list of them in my notebook, so that is available to you on Schoology. If you have thought of some more, you can add to your own personal list. So transition words and phrases might include to begin, next, then, also, in conclusion, as you can see, in addition, adding on, as a result, finally, lastly, second, third, those types of words. So here is my list. Again, this will be in Schoology. You can create your own. Okay, so now we've already drafted our introduction. So now we're working on those body paragraphs. And when I think about those body paragraphs, I'm gonna go back to my boxes and bullets in my notebook. And here's the one that I wanna do first. And it's gonna go in the same order. Your boxes and bullets will go in the same order as the way you listed your 3 reasons in your introduction. Okay, so this is the one that I put first. I have this one right here. And in between each detail, because in the box is my reason, and then I have details that follow, I'm going to go ahead and use my pen and add in some transition words. That way, when I go to draft, it'll be so easy. I'm sort of just careful copying the work I've already done. So my reason is the sugar in foods and drinks can negatively affect your health. So my first detail is my first detail. So I'm gonna use the word first. When I put it above my detail, I'm gonna put a comma, because when I use a transition word or phrase, my voice naturally pauses before I continue with the detail. Watch as I do that. First, simple sugars can lead to obesity and other health problems like diabetes. Did you notice how my voice paused after the word first? That's why I put a comma there. Okay. Now, I'm gonna think about what my second detail would be. I've used the word first, so maybe I go back to my chart of transition words and phrases, and the next one I'm gonna say also. So I'm gonna put that in, and I'm gonna add a comma. Then I have a third detail, which is my final detail for this paragraph. So I'm going to use the word finally, and I'm gonna put that in with a comma. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So all I've done is take my boxes and bullets and added in a transition word or phrase with a comma above each detail. So now when I go to draft, I'm simply going to start with the reason, which will be my topic sentence. Then I'll continue with transition words and phrases and my details. Now, it's important that you have a topic sentence because a topic sentence announces to the reader what this paragraph will be about. So I use my reason to say this paragraph is all about how sugar in foods and drinks can negatively affect your health. So all my details should support how sugar is a negative impact. Okay, so I'm gonna turn in my notebook to a blank page, and actually I started this work before I met with you, just so that I could show you what I was doing. And I labeled it body paragraph 1 because this is my first one. And I wrote my reason. When I wrote my reason, I made sure to indent because this is a paragraph. So I left 2 finger spaces before I began the first word for the paragraph. Okay, so I'm gonna read it for you. Then after that, I added in my transition word and my first detail. Then my transition word and my second detail. So I'm gonna read that for you, show you what it looks like, and then model how I continue. Okay, so remember, I'm just careful copying from my boxes and bullets. Here we go. I careful copied the reason. The sugar in foods and drinks can negatively affect your health. First, simple sugars can lead to obesity and other health problems like diabetes. Also, after the rush of energy of sugar, kids can feel tired. Okay, so look what I've done. All I did was careful copy. I'm gonna put it up to the screen. You're gonna notice my reason is my topic sentence. I made sure to indent. I put my transition word or phrase and my detail, and then my second transition word or phrase and my second detail. Looks like this. Now, when I was reading back in my boxes and bullets, my second detail is about the rush of energy of sugar. After that, the kids can feel tired. But I wanted to add on a little more. That's my detail, but what does this mean for your health in school? So I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking I could add a little something. I'm thinking I could add about, well, when kids feel tired, how does this impact their learning, right? Well, it means they won't feel healthy and present and ready to learn. So I'm gonna add that sentence in to my draft. So here we go. I'm gonna reread because powerful writers always reread where they left off. Also, after the rush of energy of sugar, kids can feel tired. This means they won't have the stamina for learning. That's what I'm gonna say. The stamina means like the energy or the capacity to keep the learning going, right? So also, after the rush of energy of sugar, kids can feel tired. This means they will not have the stamina for learning. Stamina, that's a good word, you can say it with me. Stamina for learning. Okay, I want you to notice what I did. I went back and I noticed my detail. I careful copied my detail, but I said, oh, I'm gonna add on to explain it more, to explain it further, to make sure that it relates to my reason, okay? So you may need to do that work too. All right, I have one more thing that I wanna model or show for you because I thought it would be really cool if I include some actual evidence or some facts. So what I did, I'm gonna show you. My third detail for this paragraph was sugar can lead to cavities and other dental issues. And I wanted to add in some research about, gosh, how much sugar is really in milk? So I went online and I typed in a question like, how much sugar does chocolate milk contain? And then I found an article, and the article is called Chocolate Milk in Schools, Ban It, Keep It, or Change It. and it was written in May 2011. So I took my notes on a sticky note, and as I read the article, I made sure to see and research how much sugar is actually in chocolate milk. And here's the crazy thing. I read that milk naturally contains sugar. Naturally, it contains about 14 grams in an 8-ounce serving, like a carton. But chocolate milk, are you ready? Contains 28 grams. That's twice as much. Okay, so I have this evidence, which I'm gonna now include in my draft. So watch as I do this, and you can try it out too. I'm gonna careful copy. Finally, sugar can lead to cavity. Oh, I'm gonna start like this. Finally, and then I'm gonna add in my research and then say why it matters. Because I'm gonna do my research first, and then I'm gonna talk about this sugar leads to cavities and other dental issues. So here we go. Flipping back to my draft. And I'm gonna start with finally. I put my comma, and then I'm going to talk about the article. Finally, the article, Chocolate Milk in Schools, Ban It, Keep It, or Change It, explains. So I'm putting the name of the article so that my reader knows where my research comes from. I think that's really important. Validates your research. Finally, and then I'm going to write the article and then I'm going to name the article Chocolate Milk in Schools. Putting the whole name of the article, Ban It, Keep It, or Change It. Ban it, keep it, or change it. And then I'm going to use the word explains. I'm going to reread, because I always reread as I write, make sure it makes sense. Finally, the article, Chocolate Milk in Schools, Ban It, Keep It, or Change It, explains that. And then I'm going to write my research that I took. Now, when I took my sticky note, I made sure to write that information in my own words. So I'm not quoting from the article directly. If I were using the words of that author, then I would put it in quotation marks. But since I already paraphrased, then I don't have to use the quotation marks. Okay, explains that an 8-ounce carton of chocolate milk has 28 grams of sugar. This is twice as much sugar than regular milk. This is twice as much sugar than regular milk. Now I'm going to put in my detail. So I'm going to go back in my notebook and look at my detail. And it says sugar can lead to cavities and other dental issues. So I've got to connect these two. This is twice as much sugar than regular milk. Maybe I say something like, this extra sugar can lead to cavities and other dental issues. There we go. That's what I'm going to put. This extra sugar can lead to cavities and other dental issues. Okay, now I'm going to go back one more time, reread. Notice I'm doing this a lot. So 5th graders, it's important that you go back and reread your own writing, because sometimes we leave out a word or a phrase, or we accidentally put a word or a phrase twice. Here we go. Also, after the rush of energy of sugar, kids can feel tired. This means they will not have the stamina for learning. Finally, the article, Chocolate Milk in Schools, Ban It, Keep It, or Change It, explains that an 8-ounce carton of chocolate milk has 28 grams of sugar. This is twice as much sugar than regular milk. Ooh, that's really exciting. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add an exclamation mark. This is twice as much sugar than regular milk. This extra sugar can lead to cavities and other dental issues. Okay, so let's take a look at what we did today. Our learning target was we're going to write a draft using boxes and bullets and adding in our transition words and phrases. Okay, so I did that work. The first thing I did is I put my transition words and phrases by my boxes and bullets. Then I thought of the reason as my topic sentence, and I careful copied my transition words and phrases and my details. But once in a while, I noticed I can add on to further explain, further connect my detail to the reason, or I can do some research and actually put in some text, some evidence, some facts to really persuade or convince my reader. Okay, I can't wait for you to try this out. See you next time.